Okay, Noah Goodwin now joins us once again. And Noah, last time we had you on after you won the Ontario Open, we said maybe we'll talk to you again later in the year if you win again. And look at that, you've won again.
It all kind of worked out, didn't it?
It sure did. Now, two-time winner on PGA Tour Canada this season after your victory at the GolfBC Championship. How does that sound to you? Two-time winner this season.
Man, it's a crazy feeling. It took a little bit to sink in, but being home this week, having a nice little week off to kind of rest and recover and get ready for the Tour Championship next week has definitely been a nice way to kind of celebrate it.
And we'll get to the Tour Championship momentarily. But first, let's go back to the week in BC. Take us through what happened. What went right for you?
Man, it was just a great week. I had my best friend up there caddying for me, and I was telling him as soon as we got there, I was like, man, just the views here are incredible. The vibes are great, and we were just loving the vibes all week. We are having a great time. Course set up great for me. It was a very just position golf course, and I kind of figured out pretty quickly where to place my shots here and there. And it was different in a lot of ways than my win from Ontario. I mean, Ontario, I won by 7. It was the stars aligning kind of week. You don't get very many of those. So this one was definitely different. It was a lot grittier. Came down to the very last hole, the very last shot. So this one, there was a lot, felt like a lot more that went into it in some ways. It wasn't so much just picturesque, like it was a grind out there, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you mentioned the win in Ontario and how these were two totally different
Mm.
wins. What kind of lessons did you take from that first victory in Ontario that you were able to apply this time around in a much different kind of scenario?
Yeah, I mean, Ontario kind of came for me in a time mentally I felt like I needed it. My game had just been on the verge for so many weeks, and I knew I could break through. I knew it was there. I just knew I had to trust myself a little bit more than I was. And it came and it kind of just told me everything I needed to know. Last week was more of I felt like my game was still good and everything, and it was a dogfight out there. I was able to just kind of keep putting the pedal down. So I keep using the word gritty, but that's the best way I can honestly describe it. I didn't feel like I had my best the entire week, but I was still very, very good. And I just kept giving myself birdies and I just kept giving myself looks and just kind of rolled with the punches the entire week.
Now, after the victory, I believe I asked you this last time too, but this time around, what kind of texts did you get from friends and family?
Oh, it was awesome. I had my best friend there, so he was kind of able to experience a lot of it as well. We actually had an crazy day of travel. We left straight from the tournament to go hop on a flight out of Kelowna to Vancouver. Then we flew that night from Vancouver to Chicago, getting in at like 5 in the morning, and then from Chicago to Dallas. On the way, my best friend, my caddy, lost his phone in one of
Oh,
the airports, and my clubs were lost. I didn't get my clubs back until yesterday, Thursday, actually. So I wasn't replying to too many texts. We had a lot of stuff on our plate for that those 12 hours, but once I was back home and everything, it was nice to just be able to go through them all and reply and take my time with it.
okay. Well, good thing the clubs are back for you now because coming up very shortly is the Fortinet Cup Championship coming up in Kitchener. What's your excitement level for that now that you have your own sticks back in your bag?
Exactly. No, I'm pumped for it. I mean, it's been a great season up in Canada so far. Um, Pro golf has been everything I've dreamed of. So for just next week, be able to go to this tour championship and everything. I know they're going to put on a great event for us, like they have the entire year. So excited to go out just one more week, see what I can do with it. I mean, everybody there, we're all pushing for the same thing. We're trying to get that corn card locked up for next year. So one more week to kind of go out there, all the work I've been putting in, try to showcase it a little bit, and then we get a few weeks off and nice little off season. And it's been a grind this summer. It's been a lot of travel. Just since I just turned pro, I haven't been used to just this much of on the road, but it's been incredible in so many ways. But at the same time, just ready to get going next week, ready to for the season to kind of wrap up and just one last little push.
Well, and that one last little push is a big one because you're starting tied for second in the
Hmm.
Fortinet Cup standings. We know what's on the line. You mentioned the Corn Ferry Tour. Now, how challenging do you think it'll be to focus on just playing golf next week and letting everything else take care of itself?
I mean, I won't lie to you. It won't be easy. It's always going to be on the back of my mind. It's going to be on anybody's mind who's in a similar position that I am. It's just a part of it, though. I mean, it's what we agreed to when we signed up to play this pro sport. There's never going to be a time when there isn't something at stake, or the stakes aren't high or anything like that. But at the same time, it's what we love. It's what all of us have dreamed about for so long. So while it's going to be in my mind the entire time, you just got to kind of understand that and accept it, and just focus on what you exactly can control in that moment.
Well, it's a huge week coming up, and we mentioned this earlier. The last time we had you on, we said maybe we'll talk to you again later in the year if you get another victory. Noah, if you get another win next week, maybe we'll have you on for a third time this season. Thanks for joining us, and all the best at the Fortinet Cup Championship.
Thank you for having me, sir. I hope to talk to you again soon.